Alright guys, Criminal here, back to another MK1 video. In this one I'm gonna be covering the biggest problems that this game has, in my opinion, and how they should fix them, because these are really glaring issues with MK1 that I've been seeing since release, but are just becoming more and more clear as time is going on. So yeah, let's go. First of all, I'm gonna be covering system mechanics and specific character shit, but not like every character nerfs and buffs wishlists and shit like that. Just core gameplay and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, the first thing, probably my least favorite thing about this game, is the armored wake-ups. I am personally, because of the cameo system and just how good it is to keep yourself safe and plus on any fucking block string, I don't think any move in the game should actually be armored. Especially considering how certain cameo moves are actually invincible on reversal and on wake up. Like Sarina's kick, Kung Lao spin, they are like invincible moves when used in certain situations. So I don't think this game should have armor wake ups. I really don't, because the fact that you have a cameo system just makes armor wake ups horrifyingly unfair. Because there is just no incentive in this game to block. Meter gain is extremely fast in this game. You regen bars insanely quickly when you are getting hit. Like from just eating a combo, like eating any combo from your opponent, you're getting like a bar and a half every single time. So yeah, you get a lot of meter gain, and armor moves always take 1 bar. Like Kung Lao is a very good example, because for some reasons his is actually an armor wake up and it's safe on block. Like this is -7, completely safe. Nothing can punish this. No move in the game can actually punish this thing. Like if you blocked it, like you can't punch him in the face back and you get a full combo. It's just not possible. He can block in time. The best you can get is a poke if you're using Johnny Cage, who has the fastest poke in the game, which is 6 frames. So this is just already fucking stupid. But the most annoying thing about this is the fact that you can summon cameos on armor wake up. So I can do this, summon Goro, and now what? Goro's up punch works on block, even if you are crouch blocking, if you're in block stun, because for some reason high attacks actually jail into block even if you're crouch blocking, which is something I'll also discuss later. But regardless, like Kung Lao's the armor wake up, you can just cancel it into Goro, and now I'm plus. They can't even attack me. So I pretty much, as the Sub-Zero player, I just lose my turn. I lose any wake up or any block pressure I could possibly get, like on my opponent's wake up, and I'm forced to block them myself. And the worst thing about this is just the straw that broke my fucking back, is the fact that this actually leads to full combos with Goro. Like use Goro, and it's not even a hard combo, by the way. I have never done it and I can actually do it. Like it's not hard. And the damage is actually pretty fucking good as well. So yeah, very simple fix for this actually. Very simple fix for the armor wake up issues, because Kung Lao, while his armor wake up is just completely busted by itself, like the first change I will make to armor wake ups is I'm not going to just straight up remove all armor moves from the game, because I don't think armor moves are necessary in this game. It's not as obnoxious as MKX was. And armor moves just make it so there is no incentive to block in this game, because meter gain is insanely quick in this game. You gain bars so fucking fast, it's ridiculous. People can use breakers 3 times in the same round. It's crazy how fucking fast your meter gain is in this game. I don't mind it. I feel like it's cool, like for cool combos and shit like that. But just because you can already get breakers a lot, just giving players no incentive to block whatsoever, while also having a lot of options on block thanks to the cameo system, is just stupid. So if they're not gonna just straight up remove the armor wake ups, which is what I would do, I don't think any move in the game should be armored, honestly. Like maybe just Havoc's hand. Other than Havoc's hand, nothing else should be armored in my opinion. I can't even think of something off the top of my head. But regardless, second change I will make is adjust any armor wake up in the game that is actually plus, or it keeps you safe in any way. Like it has a lot of pushback, has a lot of spacing, shit like that. Like Ashra's armor wake up, Tanya's armor wake up if you're crouch blocking, shit like that. They actually all keep you safe, and Kung Lao's just safe on block. None of them should be like this. I feel like every armor move in the game should be a free punish if you're predicting they're gonna do it, or reacting in time and blocking. If I blocked an armor move, I should be getting a full combo from a pretty good starter as well. Not only from a standing one. It shouldn't be like -8. It should be -20. Shit like that. Because armor wake-ups are insanely busted. People need to understand that. With the cameo system, most of them can actually lead to full combos if you're using the correct cameo. And you just negate all defensive options. Like, you don't even have to block in this game because of that. So yeah, it's completely stupid. So first change I would make is just make all of them punishable block. Second change I will make it impossible to actually chain cameos, even ambush cameos, when you use armor wake ups. Like, if you're using armored moves on wake up, like wake up attacks that are armored, like this move, on wake up you shouldn't be able to summon Goro for this, which is an ambush. I can do it when I'm jumping in there. It has no animation. So yeah, the changes I will make if they're not going to remove it completely. Make all armor wake ups in the game without any exceptions for all characters, extremely punishable on block. I'm talking minus 20, minus 25 with zero pushback, because this thing, the power it has, is not something to be taken lightly, and it's ridiculous just how much of a safe fucking mind game this is. Because instead of just being a mind game, it's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be a guessing game. Is he going to armor wake up? Am I going to be able to read it correctly? If I do, what combo will I do to get the most reward? Instead, it becomes just a way of, why the fuck should I block? Just use Kung Lao with Goro and spam this on wake up every single time. It does good chip damage. I get my turn back for doing absolutely nothing whatsoever. And I actually even become plus. I just completely negate my opponent's turn of offense, even though he got the hit in, and he should be capable of getting the Oki. But it just completely negates Oki. Like, it's just stupid. So yeah, that's the first change I will make. All armor wake ups in the game should be unsafe on block, and none of them should actually be chainable into cameos. Like, cameos should just not come. Like, it should be just impossible to summon cameos when you're doing a wake up attack. Like, until the wake up attack animation is over, you shouldn't be able to summon any cameo whatsoever. Like, this shouldn't be possible. Summoning Goro after this, you shouldn't be able to do it. You just shouldn't. It's just completely stupid. And the reason, what happens because of this, no Kung Lao in the game is actually blocking. You never need to block with this character. You have a busted armor wake up that is leads to full combos with Goro and is completely safe, and it's actually plus with Goro. So yeah, it's just completely ridiculous. I hate how this works in the game. It just makes it so nobody's actually blocking in this game. So pretty much, unless you're using a character that can negate armor on wake up, like Rain with his standing 2 or Baraka with his back 3, like, you're kind of fucked when you just have to guess if the opponent is gonna armor wake up and you have to dodge it. Like, you can't even allow yourself to block it because they're just becoming plus for no reason. So you must actually dodge it. You need to jump over them, which is completely stupid. And then you still don't get your turn back because of cameos. So yeah, and this is a major issue also with Cyrax. Like, Cyrax is also extremely busted for this, because just like, oh, okay, like, you can do this and call Cyrax. And then again, you're extremely plus and you'll get your turn for no reason. So that's my first issue, armor wake ups. It needs urgent adjustments, man. It's completely busted as it is right now. Yeah, next up we're moving on to scaling. Like, this is just the thing about many characters in the roster needed damage nerfs and many needed damage buffs, and Sub-Zero is a very good example. Like, this character, for no reason, its combos scale like a bitch. Like, this character's combos scale terribly. Like, I can get his optimal starter. The scaling on his combos is absolutely horrifying. Especially for ground phase. Like, I can waste all of my meter and I barely break 35%. Even with Sarina. Like, I can spend Sarina. Like, I break 40 barely. Now, if I actually activate ground phase in the beginning, the scaling is even worse. Like, yeah, I dropped it, but regardless, it's gonna do something like 35%. I mean, of course, Sub-Zero has certain routes with some cameos. Of course, Cyrax is one of them, because Cyrax is completely busted, and I will talk about them later, but of course, you can actually get more damage with this character, but it just makes zero sense. Like, in the beta, he was getting, for what the combo just did, it was getting like 60%. And he should. Like, you're wasting every single resource you have in your tank. Like, you lose your breaker for the rest of the round. You're using this to actually guarantee your kill. If I want to spend everything, I should be capable of breaking 50% with Fatal Blow. It's stupid. This character can barely break 50% even if he gets his optimal starters. It's actually ridiculous. Like, the only character you can have, the only cameo that gives you the ability to actually break 50% with this character, I'm pretty sure is Cyrax. Because Cyrax again is completely fucking busted. So yeah. Now, it's just, the main issue I have with this is not because Sub-Zero is trash damage. Of course, it's annoying me. Sub-Zero should be better. Sub-Zero is absolute dog shit when it comes to damage, but regardless. The problem I have with this is how characters like Raiden and Baraka have zero scaling in their combos. Like, Raiden and Baraka are getting over 50% for one bar with every cameo in the game. is just completely stupid, man. Like, run Raiden with Jax, run them with Cyrax, is getting 52% mid-screen for 1 bar. It's ridiculous how much damage the character is doing. While characters like the rest of the roster pretty much, and characters like Sub-Zero especially with lower damage outputs, need to spend everything they have to even become remotely close to the damage the other characters are doing. Like, and if Sub-Zero was better than Baraka and Raiden in other things, but had the lower damage, I would be fine. But Raiden and Baraka are better than him in every single way. So yeah, I just dislike the damage scaling in this game. The characters that should have high scaling in their combos, like Raiden, like Baraka, don't have any scaling almost. And the characters that shouldn't have that much scaling, like Sub-Zero, scale like a fucking piece of shit. So yeah, scaling needs serious adjustments, damage buffs, damage nerfs, shit like that. So yeah, moving on to the next 2 points I want to make. I'll switch characters, I'll cut and I'll come back right now. Alright guys, moving on to my next 2 points. First of all, I just felt like I should show you what I mean by damage. Like, I'm sure all of you already felt this damage firsthand, like how much damage you take. And how Baraka's just walks thinking they're the shit for using the most busted character in the game. Like, they just walk to you like they're like, I don't know what they are. Just with their big ass egos. So yeah. Now Baraka Cyrax, why is it so fucking busted? Every hit. Every single hit in the game. Because these characters, Raiden and Baraka, do too much fucking damage. They don't scale, and because of that, this is what happens. These characters are getting 50% anywhere on screen. Anywhere on screen. So this is just a ties to my point with scaling in this game being terrible. Like, these characters should actually scale. They should be the ones with Sub-Zero scaling, but they are not. They just do ridiculous damage for no reason. I mean, bruh, what the fuck? This is already a 2-touch character regardless. What is this fucking damage? And this just attaches into my next point. Like, this ties in with my next point, which is chip damage. Now, Cyrax is the main culprit in this, but just, I want to, without Cyrax, Cyrax gets his own separate point, because Cyrax is just ridiculous. But regardless with Cyrax, chip damage, my problem with this is just, things in this game do way too much chip damage, considering how much damage characters are doing. The damage in this game is actually ridiculously high. Like, characters are doing so much fucking damage. Every character in the game, in the roster almost, can actually break 50% with their optimal combos. Every character. This amount of damage should tie in with the chip damage not being very high, but in this game it's just the complete opposite. So, chip damage is ridiculous. Like, this bullshit does pretty much 10%, like this. And because of Cyrax's existence, you can just continue to loop this nonsense. And look at how much chip I did. I did 30 fucking percent. Keep in mind, this is a 2-touch character. I touch you twice and you're already dead. I'm doing 50% for 1 bar. Anywhere on screen. So, what happens is, if you block me once and I hit you once, you're already dead. That's pretty much how it works. That's pretty much how it works, man. It's that simple. It's ridiculous just how much damage characters are doing in this game, so chip damage should be nerfed accordingly, but because of Cyrax's existence, and I should talk about Cyrax if I'm talking chip damage, but chip damage in general, special moves in this game just do way too much chip. Like, Kung Lao's Hour Wake Up is doing 4%, which is too much. This nonsense is doing like 7%. Baraka's Baraka Barrage, like the one where he attacks. It's just nonsense, man. It's ridiculous the amount of damage characters are doing in this game, and the chip damage should be nerfed accordingly for sure. So yeah, I would nerf chip damage 100%. And just Raiden has something that I just want to talk about really quickly. It's just, it attaches with chip damage, like it attaches with it. Just how this character, for some reason, one of the best characters in the game, takes reduced chip damage after blocking for a while. Look at this, it starts glowing with lightning. I think it only activates when his HP is actually on. You can see it starts going with lightning, and now it takes less chips. So, this character, who is completely and utterly broken in every single regard of the game, all aspects, Raiden is absolutely busted in all aspects of the game. He is arguably number 1, most likely top 2. This character has this passive. So, what I would make, first of all, I would actually love if they could introduce passives of these sorts, like for all characters. Like Raiden has his anti-chip damage shit. I would love if all characters had something like this. It just adds so much versatility to the game. So this is just a plus. It's not even something I want to change because it's just a negative. This is a plus for the game. Like, if other characters have add passives like this, it would have been so much fun. But regardless, Raiden's passive, the chip damage passive, I feel like it should be a universal mechanic, like chip damage just scaling. Like chip damage, the best way to fix it is just make it so attacks do less damage on block the more time the opponent is blocking. Like if they are blocking attacks consecutively for a while, they should take less and less chip damage as time goes on. Just pretty much give Raiden's passive for every character in the game, even without an animation. I don't mind. That's the best way to go around it. Now, next up, of course, I have to talk about them, like Cyrax. I mean, Cyrax. I feel like we all know Cyrax's issues by now, but just before I get into Cyrax, it will probably be my final point in this video because I don't want it to get too long. Second point I have is just pokes. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but I feel like this game is way too much like MK11. In the regard where the most common things you see is just extremely busted special move being abused, like armor wake-ups that are just unfair, being abused, and poke mashing. Poke mashing in this game is probably the strongest it's ever been in any Mortal Kombat game. And that's for one reason, because of the cameo system. Because pokes are special cancelable on block. Because pokes are special cancelable on block. That just makes it so you can special cancel your pokes on block or on hit. Do your special move with a lot of hit stun, called Cyrax, and then it just carries you to victory because it's fucking busted. So I got 30% there and I still have my turn and Raiden has 50-50s. So what the fuck, man? Honestly, just what the fuck? Like, pokes are already way too powerful. They wanted in this game to make them less powerful by making them more minus on a block and less plus on hit. Like they're -8. This is actually punishable for certain characters. Like Johnny's down 1 will actually punish down 1s and you'll block them. But, and there's a big but, because this is special cancelable and has 9 frames of cancel advantages and you're only -8. This bullshit is completely guaranteed. So what the fuck are we doing here? Like the only way to beat this is with an armor move. So keep in mind, I am forcing my opponent to block. He is blocking me, and because down 1's low profile so many attacks and just activate much quicker than any other move in the game, I get interrupted in the middle of my turn, in the middle of my block string. I'm interrupted by a poke, and then they specially cancel the poke into a move like this, and then they call Cyrax. And what happens next? I lose my turn for no reason whatsoever. Because they were poke mashing, I lose my turn. I eat 25 to 30% chip damage, and if I fail to block the characters who have 50-50s, if I fail to block the over and low mix-ups, and I don't block it, I eat 50% damage. So how is that fucking fair? A poke wins you the game in this game. That is why people mash the living shit out of pokes, because pokes are way too good in this game. The startup is way too fucking fast. The fact that they are special cancelable makes it so they are -8 being completely useless. Like, just, they could be 0 on block again, like they were in MK11, because what's the fucking point of making them minus on block if you can special cancel them? So yeah, change I would make to actually adjust to this. Just make pokes not special cancelable when the opponent is blocking you. If you got a hit in, whatever, fine, fuck it. But if they are blocking, hell no, you shouldn't get your turn. Like, you shouldn't they shouldn't lose their turn for actually blocking your poke. You should get punished. Like, as far as I'm concerned, pokes should be actually much more minus on block. Like, make them -9 with a lot of recovery. So you don't get a full combo punish, but if the opponent tries mashing after I block their poke, I 100% get a combo on. Because they can't special cancel it. So yeah, pokes are just ridiculously busted right now, and because of this, just because of how good they are, people don't block. They don't block. They block one attack and then they just smash a poke. And if they got me on hit or on block, because pokes are ridiculously fast and just beat most other options you have, even in the middle of strings, if they get a poke, Cyrax, Cyrax, Cyrax. And deal with my 50-50s. You didn't block. Oh no. What are you gonna do? You're gonna die. That's what you're gonna do. You're going to die. That is what's gonna happen. You didn't block the low. Now you're dead. You are dead. You're hitting 40%. If I still have Cyrax available, you're hitting 50. So yeah, this is just ridiculous, man. Pokes can pretty much win you the game by just poke mashing. You don't need to do anything in this game because of that. Like, armor wake-ups and poke mashing are the most common things you'll see online because it's just way too powerful as it is right now. So yeah, it's needs urgent adjusting. I don't know how they will do it, but as far as I'm concerned, I feel like the best way to go about nerfing pokes is just perhaps nerf the frame data of them a bit more on block and on hit, and make it impossible to special cancel them when they're on block. on hit, like in combos and shit like that, in combos or when you hit them, fine, make them special cancelable, so be it. In my opinion, they shouldn't even be special cancelable if it's not in a combo. Like, if they're the first hit of a combo, like they're the first hit you land, it shouldn't be special cancelable either. Like, the only time a poke should be special cancelable is when I do something like this, like... Then, make it special cancelable here. I don't mind. Like in a combo, because pokes are actually... In some combos, they are the only move you can actually land before the opponent drops to the ground. And you have to actually get the poke on, or they'll just drop to the ground. So, in that case, I'm fine with it. But other than that, pokes shouldn't be special cancelable in my opinion. Because of the cameo system, pokes just give you your turn back, put your plus on block, and every combo you get afterwards will do so much fucking damage that in combination with the chip damage, pretty much it comes to the conclusion, a poke won you the game. You got a poke and you got 80% damage because of it. So yeah, it's way too powerful right now. Next up we have throw combos. This is not Cyrax specific, so I'm not going to Cyrax specifically, but this is the major issue the game has right now, because I don't feel like it should be a thing. Throws should be what they are, throws. Because many characters in the roster can combo off of their back throws. And Cyrax was pretty much the only cameo you see in this game, which I will talk about at the end. I feel like Cyrax is too broken to be talked about earlier. It should be the final point, but Cyrax can do this. So pretty much you get full combos off of throws with every character in the roster almost. Like almost all characters can actually combo off of their grab, like either with Kung Lao teleport like Liu Kang does, or as the majority do with Cyrax. Like you can, Ashra can do it with Cyrax, Baraka can with Cyrax, Rain can do it with Cyrax, and I'm certain more characters can. Like, just, I don't know how many can do it, but as far as I'm concerned, nobody should do it. Like, throws exist to just open up a very pesky opponent who is extremely good at blocking, but because it's actually possible to combo off of throws, you can kill your opponent in 4 grabs, man. 4 grabs and the opponent is already dead, so why the fuck are you even going to get a hit on? And that is the major problem, just goes hand in hand with the poke stuff. Like, pokes leading to so much fucking chip damage means if you fail to guess between 50-50s, 50-50 mix-ups that lead to 50% combos, or the fucking grabs who also lead to 25% combos, you're already dead from blocking once. Because you're just incapable of blocking in this game. If they grab you and you didn't take the grab, you're eating 25% for no reason thanks to Cyrax, who is fucking busted with every character in the game. Or Kung Lao with Liu Kang, who can actually get even 35% from a grab, which is ridiculous. So yeah, grab combos shouldn't exist, man. They just shouldn't exist. The only grab in the game that should combo is this one, Cyrax's, because Cyrax it takes you 2 bars to get a combo from this. 2 bars for a heavily scaled combo is enough. I don't mind it. Yeah, I did 28% from a grab, but I wasted 2 bars for this. I waste 2 bars, it's okay. I don't feel like it's too busted or anything. Because it's 2 bars. If it was 1 bar, yeah, it would have been way too broken. But for 2 bars, I feel like it's a fair trade-off. I do feel like it is fair. But because back throws give you the same fucking damage for no resources, why the fuck would you use Cyrax as forward throw? So yeah, you see what my point is here. Grab combos shouldn't exist. It's ridiculous. The game is already way too oppressive because of cameos. So yeah, it's ridiculous. And next up, do you have any other point I want to discuss? I had something, but it just escaped my mind for a second. I'll just talk about Cyrax now. I mean, if I come up with anything else, I'll just talk about it at the end. But yeah, moving on to Cyrax. I mean, Cyrax is easily miles ahead of every other cameo in the game. He is by far the best cameo in the game for pretty much every character. All characters in the game use Cyrax. That's pretty much how the game works right now. Because Cyrax is so busted on block and on hit, pretty much every character in the game should use Cyrax. And I'm not going to talk about Cyrax specifically now, we should get nerfed, because I'm going to keep that for a separate video. I already made one actually, but with this one it's just system changes. But the thing that bothers me with this, other than just Cyrax being busted, but the cameo system failed to deliver what it's supposed to deliver. The cameo system, the whole point of the cameo system was to add diversity to the game, but it does the exact opposite. Because one cameo, Cyrax, is so much better than every other cameo. You don't see any other cameo online. The only cameos you see are the occasional Kung Lao, who is extremely good by himself and also pretty much busted, Cyrax, who is beyond broken, and Sarina, because of her utility on combos. Certain characters like Ashra, who are already fucking perfect, don't really need Cyrax, so they can use Ashra just to get a bit more, to eke out more damage. But every character in the game, every single character, can and most likely should use Cyrax. Like Baraka is locked behind Cyrax. Baraka without Cyrax is not even top 5, but with Cyrax, Baraka is the most major contender in the game for number 1. Raiden with Cyrax is even better than he is with Jax because he has busted chip damage setups with this, off with a poke. And they also lead to full combos for no reason whatsoever, so you get this. You got a full combo, it actually does pretty good fucking damage, man. It does pretty good damage as well, like, I get this. And you can get a full combo, like you can get 30% even. And it's no joke, man, it's significant damage and it's a chip damage setup. So yeah, Cyrax's issues are fucking obvious, but that's not my point with this video. I wanna just talk about the cameo system, like here. Just the power difference in cameos makes it so the cameo system fails to make the game more diverse. It does the exact opposite. The cameo system makes the game extremely repetitive because every single character is playing in the exact same way to abuse Cyrax as nonsense. Because every player online, and I guarantee to you in the pro tournament, everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to be using Cyrax unless he gets nerfed before. Because Cyrax is pretty much the best option for 95% of the roster. Like Havoc, use Cyrax, Baraka, use Cyrax, Raiden, use Cyrax, Kenshi is the only one who could argue the freezers are maybe better. But even for him, you can make Cyrax work because you can get Sento on block with Cyrax, which is ridiculous. Who else? What other characters? I mean, Nitara, even she can work with Cyrax. Giras, Cyrax. Cyrax is the best option. Shang Tsung, probably Cyrax. Sub-Zero, Cyrax. Scorpion, Cyrax. Smoke, Cyrax. Who's not going to Cyrax, man? And those who aren't going to Cyrax are either using Kung Lao, like Kung Lao himself is. Like Kung Lao, the playable character, is using Kung Lao cameo. Or they are using Sarina, characters like, let's say, Smoke, or characters like not Sub-Zero, Smoke, or what's her name? Ashra, fuck Ashra, yeah, Ashra. And there is one character in the game who I absolutely despise, but I can't deny he actually doesn't synergize well with Cyrax, which is a good thing, because you can see other cameos. So Reiko is using Darius. Reiko, the only reason the player in the game would use Darius, because Reiko exists. So yeah, the cameo system, they put so much time and effort into making the system, like making the certain cameos, but you only see 3 cameos, man. And I guarantee to you, I'm willing to bet a lot of money on this. Like, unless they patch the game earlier, before the pro tournament, everybody in the game, every single player will be using Cyrax. Everybody, regardless of the character they are using, because Cyrax is so broken. So the cameo system just fails to make the game diverse. It does the exact opposite. The cameo system is the main reason this game is so fucking repetitive. On top of being, another point I want to make here, on top of the fact that there are just 5 characters on the roster that are so much better than everybody else. Like, I would easily say Raiden, Baraka, Kenshi, Ashra, and Johnny Cage are much better than all other characters in the roster. And I mean much better, not even remotely close. I feel like these 5 characters are so good, with other characters it really feels tough to compete, man. If you're fighting good players and you're using any other character, it's going to be tough for you to actually compete with them. Because Baraka Cyrax, Raiden Cyrax, Kenshi as a character in general, Johnny Cage especially, Johnny Cyrax as well. These characters are so busted, especially Baraka Cyrax, Raiden Cyrax, Johnny Cyrax. They are so busted, all other characters pale in comparison. All other characters. Ashra can still compete because Ashra is fucking busted by herself. If you're not talking with cameos, by herself base kit, Ashra is probably the best character in the entire game without a cameo fighter. Ashra is ridiculous by herself. She has every tool in the game you could want. So yeah, just there are characters that are so fucking busted in this game that other characters just fail to compete, man. I put Giras easily in the top 10, but even with Giras you struggle against these top tier characters. You struggle, man, because the top 5 is just too good. They are too good. They do everything better than everybody else. Like Johnny Cage, he pretty much has the best neutral in the entire game because he has the most busted special in the game, which is the counter. He has this ridiculous EX shadow that just covers the entire screen and just negates all projectiles whatsoever. So yeah, the character doesn't have projectiles, but why the fuck do you even need them? You can get in the face of your opponent in one moment, like 1 second and I'm already in your face with Johnny, and you have to deal with my busted frame data and my insane 50-50s. So how are you? It's very tough to block Johnny already. He does a lot of chip damage because of Cyrax. When he gets you, he does earth shattering damage, and he has no weaknesses. And the same goes for all other 5 characters in the top 5. Kenshi is probably number 5 for me, like he's dropped significantly because Kenshi actually has weaknesses. The other 4 I mentioned don't have any weaknesses, they are perfect characters. They do not have any weakness whatsoever, they are just completely busted in all aspects. So yeah, the game just needs urgent balancing, man. Like characters like Sub-Zero just can't compete, man. They really can't. Like even someone like Sikander is forced to struggle a lot. Like he had this beef set, which was one of the most hilarious videos I've ever seen. He did a beef set against another YouTuber, like who was using Baraka Cyrax.
The other player was fucking shit compared to Sikander, and Sikander had to work so fucking hard to actually win that set. The other player wasn't even that good. It was pretty bad actually. And he was using Baraka Cyrax. Sikander was 10 times better than him as a player. And he was using Sub-Zero, and the amount of effort he needed to put into the game to actually win, even though he's much better than his opponent, just goes to show the power difference between the bottom tiers and the top tiers. So yeah, it just needs balancing right now, but this is not even a major issue. So yeah guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. These are the major issues I can think of with this game. Honestly man, the most major issues I have right now is just how easy it is to abuse the cameo system and the ridiculous armor wake-ups to just avoid blocking whatsoever. So blocking just doesn't exist in this game. So yeah, I just despise how it works right now. I really hope they change what I've talked about in this video. Like, all of these things need urgent balancing. Like in the next patch, which should come already. Patch should have already dropped, but it didn't yet. So I don't know why, but yeah, balance changes should happen really quickly. Oh, and one final point I forgot to mention. The cameo HP nonsense. It shouldn't even exist. Like, the HP value nonsense. Cameo shouldn't have any effect on HP, especially considering how one cameo is better than everybody else combined, and he has no effect on HP. So yeah, it's just a ridiculous way to balance out this game, because HP is very, very valuable. A cameo actually lowering your HP is very, very bad. Very, very bad. Losing 50 HP can actually lose you a game. And getting 100 HP, like you get with Jax, can actually win you a game as well. So I feel like cameos shouldn't even have an effect on HP. That just makes it so they fail to balance the cameos, because, yeah, this cameo adds, it gives you 50 HP, so we can compete with Cyrax, who is completely busted, but Cyrax doesn't give you 50 HP. So yeah, it makes it so the cameos that are absolutely shit can actually just increase your HP value. Like Darius, who pretty much is unrunnable with most of the cast, it's just very difficult to use Darius, it's not very good. Like, Darius gives you 50 HP, compare him to Cyrax. Do me a favor, that's not a way to balance the system. So HP value should always be the same. Characters, and only characters, the playable character you're using should have an effect on HP. So Baraka and Raiden, as they are right now, should lower your HP. They should have not 1000 HP. They should have 950 or 900, because they are so busted, they need to be adjusted accordingly. So yeah, the HP values are complete nonsense. The cameos shouldn't affect HP. Characters can. I feel like they should affect HP. Like, characters like Havoc and General Shao having more HP is very, very good. So yeah guys, I'm gonna have this one up here. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with anything I've said here. I'd love to hear your feedback. Hope these things are balanced out, man. This is ridiculous right now. It ruins the game, honestly, because Combat League is so fucking sweaty, man. Combat League is as sweaty as Grand Finals in EVO, dude, because it's so fucking toxic. So yeah, please, for the love of God, balance this game. I'll see you in the next one.